I like Adidas. Bottom was subjected to a coffee spill in my car. I think I need more hats of, but you know what? It's fine. It fits on my head. And this is my first movie hat. Hello class, it's Professor Hatter here, doing a video, a little interesting, a little different than what you might see from other hat collectors, other hat YouTube channels. But I had this idea on my mind for a while and wrote this list down some time ago and finally making the video about it. And it's kind of a bit of a precursor. I'm going over some of my hat firsts. So like certain hat categories of being my first hat, like my first hat, my first, Cubs hat, first New Era hat, first fitted, first this, first that, different first hats. So there's a few of them that I'm going to go over. A bit of a collection here. Some of them I'm kind of reaching out for, a little bit of a different category, but wanted to do this as a little bit of a precursor for my 100th hat video coming up. I'm working on my video editing. I have a bunch of videos recorded already and just doing a lot of the edits now, so that way I can just, drop the new videos whenever I want to. So just be patient with future videos as I'm working on getting them all edited out. Anyways, we're going to go over some of my hat history here. Some of these hats I have gone over in my hat history lecture video series. So, especially some of the first ones I'll go over. That way you've seen them before if you watch my videos. And then that way I can get into some of the other hats you might not have seen before. So I won't go into too many story details because I'll save that for my hat history lecture series videos. While you're at it, if you haven't seen those, I'll leave the link down below and make sure you go check them out. I go over in a video series each of my hats. Right now, as I'm filming, I have 111 hats, and this whole hat history lecture series, I go over each hat individually and go over like the story behind each hat and why I got it and why it means so much. So, gonna go over some hat firsts here, a little bit of extra history. So make sure you got your pens, pencils, notebook paper, whatever you need for note taking today, because class is in session. Let's go. The first hat I'm going to show you is my first hat, which I presume is my first hat, at least by the time I was in kindergarten, first grade. This is when I got that hat. It doubles as my first hat and my first Cubs hat, so 2 for 1. It's a nice road edition. This is the road hat that they would use the pattern of the red bill back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And when I first got this, I got this hat and my brother got the all blue hat, and I thought that this was like the official, Cubs hat that they would wear on field. And it was kind of right, but then eventually learning that the all blue hat is what they wear on the field for home, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. I go over this hat in my hat history lecture video, part 1. So pretty simple, it's a crushable dad hat kind of a structured front, Velcro back. So this is considered my first Cubs hat and first ever hat. Let's move on to a few more hat firsts. I'm going to continue on with a Cubs theme here. So my first fitted hat ever was this brand 47 Cubs hat, fitted on the back. Kind of like a fitted dad hat. I believe this is their franchise, brand 47 franchise. Like how New Era has 5950, 950, 3940, those kind of naming properties for their different style hats. I'm pretty sure that the franchise or cleanup is the brand 47's fitted version. So this is my first fitted hat of any type. As you can see by the backing, it's closed. So there will be a difference between my first fitted hat and my first 5950 fitted hat, which we'll go over later on in the video. Going off of brand 47, I know this is a category that I think I need more hats of. I like them, I need more of them, but this is my first dad hat, technically, in a way. My brand 47 hat, kind of crushable front here, and the strapped back. So, of course, like that first Cubs hat was considered like a dad hat, but the Velcro kind of discounts it as a dad hat. It's more of an adjustable hat, I would consider it. So this is my first true dad hat, I would say. My first championship hat, I guess you could say, would be this Cubs 2003 NL Central championship hat, or champions hat. They won the division in 03. That's when they went on to the NLCS and eventually lost to the Marlins, in 7 games. So that was also the year of Bartman. So also go over this one in my hat history video, so check that out. For my birthday in 7th grade, I got for a birthday gift my first New Era hat from my uncle. It's a Blackhawks 3930 stretch fitted hat. Got the nice logo on the front there. I know Major League Hats would appreciate the New Era flag on the side being red, you know, matching the button on the top and the bill. And on the back is the big alternate logo that they have, the Tommy Hawk cross C, and then it's also on the side here too. So I've worn this a lot for the playoffs when the Hawks were in the playoffs, because right now they're not, second year in a row that they've missed the playoffs, but they'll get back into it. So very nice hat, very comfortable. It's a little bit big on my head. It's a large, extra large, and I'm more of a medium to large for the stretch fitted. But you know what? It's fine. It fits on my head. Great hat. Let's move on to the next one. My first Lidz hat that I bought was in store. I'll go over this hat in more detail in my hat history video I'll publish sometime later on. But this is my first Lidz hat that I bought in store, and could have gotten a better hat, but at the time, it's what I picked, and it's the hat that I wore during the whole 2016 Cubs postseason run and the whole season, because I hadn't had a new Cubs hat in about 7 years, I think, so, you know, it was time to get a new hat. So this is my first Lidz hat. It's a brand 47 hat, nice adjustable hat, and just like my first Cubs hat, it's Velcro. You know, looking back at it now, I probably would have gotten a like a 5950 hat, but at the time I was a little naive, a little new to the whole hat scene, so you know, it worked out perfectly. It worked out good enough. So this is my first Lidz hat. My first custom hat is a hat that I didn't customize myself, like you've seen in some of my other videos, but I'll include it here as well as my first self-made custom hat. But my first custom hat is my Dude hat, my super solar powered Lego Dude hat. It's a trucker hat, nice mesh back and very weird kind of furry sweatband. I wore this when I was in 8th grade when I went to nationals for Lego Robotics. I went over more details about this hat, the history behind it, in my second video of my part 1 hat history lecture. So you'll see it somewhere up there. So go watch the video, more details about this. Pretty cool hat. Great time being in Lego Robotics. And let's move on to the first self-made custom hat that I did. The first self-made custom hat I did back in the fall of 2017. I'm doing a video in the future about my whole process about making a custom hat the way I do it, to show you guys how to make one if you want to do one. I know Major League Hat has his own way. I got my own way. People have their different ways themselves, but I'll put out a future video in 3 parts about how I make my custom hat. I want to show you my first custom hat that I made myself. It reads Psalm 46. This was to commemorate the 500th anniversary of the Reformation beginning, or the 500th anniversary of Martin Luther nailing the 95 theses on the Gutenberg church door in 1517. So I went to a Lutheran college. Big deal back in the fall of 2017 to be part of. We did a big tour with the choir and band down to Dallas, and I wanted to commemorate the trip and the whole celebration. And on the side, I added a pin because I originally wanted to make a stitching of the Luther rose seal, but it just would have been too many stitches to do for the machine to handle with all the details it has. Even if it was like, you know, kind of watered down a bit, still would have been too much for the machine. So I just got the pin. And then on the side, it's a kind of a Lutheran phrase in German where it says, by grace alone. And the font is in Gutenberg 1454 font, which I found somewhere online. I'll tell you the process how I made this hat in a future video. So again, keep your notifications set for future videos. See when I drop that video. Pretty cool hat. Fitted. Next. My first snapback hat was not a 950 hat by New Era, but instead was by Adidas, and it's a pretty cool hat. Pretty underrated. I mean, I have my regular rotation of hats that I like to wear. Outside of my regular rotation, this is one of my top hats that I have. Illinois State University, the Redbirds, not Cardinals, Redbirds for some reason. This is by Adidas. Very nice. Very, very nice. It's got the red for the bill, nice gray cap. And on the back, in red, is Illinois State. If you can see that. Red snaps. And there, Adidas. I like Adidas. And it's a pretty comfortable hat. It's nice cotton material, I think. It's a 50, never mind. It's 50% acrylic and 50% wool, but trust me, it's soft. It's very nice. So it's a very nice, comfortable hat. I wear a lot. Had a few friends that went to Illinois State. Came in handy when the Illinois State basketball team was going on a nice run. So I will go over this hat in a future video. Stick around for that one. My first college hat comes from my own Harper College. I went to community college for 2 years, right out of high school. This is a pretty solid dad hat. Got nice pattern design to it with the white eyelets matching the white button on the top. Pretty simple front. Could have gone with something a little bit more intricate myself, but pretty simple enough. Just says Harper College on the front. Been meaning to get a new one because the bottom, I think I went over this hat in another video, a lecture video. Bottom was subjected to a coffee spill in my car, so got some character to it. But for me, college hats are important because not only, you know, rooting for NCAA teams, but primarily I have a subset collection of college hats where I've gone to, but also where my family and my close friends have gone to. College hats are important to me, and I like them. My first vacation hat was, I mean, this is what I can gather as my first vacation hat that I've kept. I think I've had a few others before, but I think I've lost them or got rid of them. Well, actually, one of them was a presidential hat, like this one, but instead the bill was navy and the writing was in like a kind of a beige white color, but it got destroyed by mold and it looked really, really nasty, and the back a snap buckle here to hold the adjustable strap in fell off a long time ago. That hat was destroyed and it's no longer with us. This is my first vacation hat because on vacation, like I said in my hat history lecture video, we get one souvenir for our vacation, family vacations. And for the Grand Canyon, I picked this hat and kind of started a hat trend for myself. Pretty cool hat. Been pretty worn down over the years, but still keep it around. Nice yard working hat. This next hat, before I get into my last two New Era hats of my first, I want to kind of do a reaching out there category of a first hat. So I wanted to mention this hat primarily because the trailer for one of the movies came out yesterday from when I'm recording, and this is my first movie hat. Star Wars! Yes, I'm reaching out a bit for a first category. Big Star Wars fan. I mean, my birthday is May 4th. You know, May the 4th Force be with you. Big Star Wars fan. Saw Phantom Menace in theaters with my dad in '99 for Father's Day. And one of my nice hats. Plain black, got the nice outline of Star Wars in the classic cursive connected style, and there's like no other markings on the hat, no brand to it, just plain Star Wars. So very nice hat. I'm gonna start off with my first 950 hat, my first snapback, because I have a lot of new era snapback hats. I like them. I know some people don't, which is fine. And my first 950 came on from Lidz. Big sale, and I got Michigan State NCAA Core 950 snapback. Pretty good, solid hat. The bottom white part has gotten a little dirty, hanging on the wall a bit, but I got some cleaner. I can fix it up. So, pretty nice hat. Got it because it's a green hat. I like green. I mean, that's my part of my logo. And also Big Ten. So, that's why I got it. Alright, so for my first 5950 fitted New Era hat, it is a pretty awesome hat. It was a hat on clearance, and got the discount, of course. So I got this hat from a Lidz in Cleveland. I'm going to tell the full story in a future video, because it's upcoming in one of my hat history lecture videos. So I'll go over the full details in that video. But kind of a funny place to get my first 5950 hats in Cleveland, because it's a Cubs 2016 World Series Champions hat, because it's got the patch on the side. So yeah, kind of funny that I would get a Cubs champion hat in Cleveland where we just beat them. But either way, it's a pretty cool hat. I got it when we were on a band trip for Concordia. We do spring tours every spring break, 10 days. We're on tour. We were in the Cleveland area. I got this hat at a mall during a mall stop, because we love mall stops, because we get to get off the bus and not be surrounded by each other, at least for a bit. And I got this hat. Kind of complicated at first to figure out what size hat I should wear, because I was between this hat and another one, and which was like really snug on me. And I had asked the associate in store, I'm like, hey, what's kind of like the whole trick about fitting a new hat, you know, a 5950 fitted hat? What's the trick? And they didn't really give me the best answer. They're like, oh, whatever fits is good for you. So I was like, oh, okay, great, thanks for that so helpful answer. So I'm going to make a future video sometime soon where I kind of give my own take about hat sizing more than just the number that you see on the hat. So that'll be a future video. This is a 7 5/8 hat, which is weird because this fits like a 7.5 hat, to be honest, knowing what I know now that I'm an actual 7.5 size. Kind of weird. Some of my hats were a little bit disproportioned when I would buy future fitted hats, thinking I was 7 5/8, really a 7.5. Anyways, my first 5950 fitted hat, pretty nice one. I like it a lot. Alright, let's move into my last first hat. Alright, so for my last first hat I'm going to show you, it's a pretty special one actually. It's my first 100th hat. So, you know, of course you only get one first 100th hat, but you know, my first triple digit hat. So this is a pretty cool hat I got, and I knew it had to be a special one. Thought long about it, gave it some real effort into the process. Really think about this one, get some advice. So I finally picked one hat to be my 100th hat. I knew it was going to be an important hat, so that's why I picked up for my 100th hat the Psych! I got you good, didn't I? I got you good. Alright, I'm going to do a whole different video for my 100th hat. I'm going to do a huge 100th hat spectacular. That's what I'm dubbing it, not spectacular, because spectacular is boring, but a spectacular is super important. So that'll come out soon. I'm still working on the editing for that video. It's a big process because it'll be into 2 parts. You'll see why. Just be patient with me. It'll be really worth it. It'll be pretty cool to see. And it all has a certain fitting theme with hats 97 through 100. So you'll see why. Anyways, thank you for watching this video today of my hat firsts. Probably went a little bit longer, maybe than I wanted to have. But that's what you kind of expect from me at this point. Babbling on and on and on. But I like talking hats. So, of course, thank you for watching. If you're new to the class, hit that subscribe button. Join us for future classes. And if you're a returning student, then hit that like button. Make sure your notification bells are set for those future videos for that 100th hat spectacular. And for everyone, comment down below, what was your first hat? Tell me a first hat story of yours, or any other, hat first that you want to share with me, because those are always cool to hear about. As always, thank you for watching, class. Class is dismissed, and hats off to you. Bye, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Hats off to you for watching, and class is dismissed. Bye, guys.